sad. All right, so this is the project that we're going to make today. It's this fun gift card box. Of course, you could do cash in this little envelope or a check for graduation. And then inside is this fun little gift card holder. Let me see, I left my gift card over here. Let me show you how that works. Got a couple other samples to show you, but stealing the gift card out of one of them. All right, so inside you've got the little thumb notches there, and your gift card slides right in. You can tell I'm a crafter. See what gift card I use for my sample. Probably should find something else, huh? Okay, so your gift card fits right in. Then your card fits right in the box. Close it up, and you are all set for graduation. Little Visa gift card is good as cash, and it's a really kind of fun way to present some cash for a graduate. Now I've got a couple other samples. If you are, Gina says cute. Thank you, Gina. If you are involved with the Kitchen Table Stamper online classroom, this is one of the projects that we had in the online classroom a couple months ago. So masculine style. This is with the True Gentleman Suite, and that's retired while supplies last. So if you like any of those, you want to pick those up while supplies last. And then I made these for a craft fair. Little Happy Mother's Day box. And then the card that goes inside. All right, so that's that. And then this is a same box die, but instead of using two halves, you use one and fold it up. And then it fits a little Ghirardelli square in there. So that's another way to use this same die. All right, let me show you some of the products that we're using on this project, especially the stuff that's retiring. I'm really gonna miss some of this stuff. We're having a retirement party for lots of occasions. I love this stamp set. It's good for everything. Christmas with Merry and Bright, You Light Up My Life is a cute anniversary. Sorry you're feeling burnt out. You got a good, get well, thinking of you. I love you, Watts and Watts. I think you're brilliant, and thanks a Watt, and all the fun light bulbs. So that's the set that we're featuring here. And the other thing that we're really featuring hard, and it's also on the retirement list, is this Lots to Love box framelits. I love this set. Let me grab the other two dies here because these are the core of the set. This is the box. Gina says, so sad Watts is leaving. Me too. I'm so sad. And then this is how we do the little gift card. There's these little notch dies, and for perfect placement, I glued mine to a gift card. And then inside, there's also some fun banners and hearts and leaves. So it's a great die set. And that's the box that we're using. And all of this is on retirement while supplies last right now. We're also going to use our Simple Stripes embossing folder. I've got Sunshine Sayings and Sunshine Wishes dies. And these dies coordinate with the stamp set. Congrats comes from Sunshine Wishes. And graduate, here it is, graduate comes from Sunshine Sayings. And then the last little die set I have here, the mini treat bags. I use these two, you can see the little stars and hearts. I cut these in strips and then use them on embellishments on cards. So what I did was I cut a bunch of silver foil stars, and I use them as embellishments. It cuts 7 stars at a time, so you get lots of embellishments real quick. So that's my products. Let's see here, what else do I have to show you? Stampin' pad for this project is simple. We're using basic black. And let me get some consumable. Oh, I can get my mouse out of here. I used I love this Designer Series paper set. This is the Pick a Pattern Designer Series paper, and that's on the retirement list. It's while supplies last. It's got these great Flirty Flamingo, Crushed Curry, Emerald Envy patterns. Lots of the bold black and white. They're mushrooms. How funny is that? And art supplies. There's a little Sahara sand in there. Dinosaurs. And then woodland creatures. And then there's some emerald envy, crushed curry, basic black patterns on the B-sides. This is great paper. I love that there's these great black and white patterns that can be used with any project that you're making. And then let me grab my pieces here. We've got lots of pieces for this project, but we're really kind of doing 2 projects in one. So let me show you what I did. I went ahead and I cut these 2 box halves ahead of time. These are that Lots of Love box framelits, and I just cut out 2 of those. All right. Then I also have a scrap of basic black for die cutting. Congrats. I have a 1/2 inch scrap of Whisper White for Stampin' Graduate. And then for the outside of my box, I have a 5/8 to 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch works too, strip of this it looks like almost film strip now, designer series paper from Pick a Pattern. I have an inch strip of this black like lattice pattern. I have an inch strip of this crushed curry stripe pattern. That's for the outside of my box. And then I also have a piece of Whisper White that's 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'll put this on the project sheet for you. And a piece of basic black that's 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. That's the outside of our box. Plus you'll need a strip of like 1/2 inch strip of silver foil for your stars. And then for the inside of my box, I have my card base, which is 5 1/2 by 4 3/4. I have another piece each of Whisper White and basic black that are 2 1/4 by 4 1/4 each. I have a 3/4 of an inch strip of Whisper White, and the length of these strips doesn't matter. You'll see when we get working. I just lay them down and then cut off the excess, so the length doesn't really matter. And for inside the box, I did the same thing with the inch patterns or inch strips of the crushed curry. This time we did the dots and the crushed or the basic black lattice, and then another one that's about 5/8 of an inch of that like black and white paper. Looks like a film strip. I can't get over it. This is the crushed curry scrap that was left when I die cut my box. We're going to need a little bit of scrap paper. And we're going to need a scrap of Whisper White. All right, so lots of materials there, but we are putting together the box and the card. And then a few more of the silver stars for inside the box on this card too. All right. Let's see here. Before I get crafting, I'm going to pull in the Big Shot in just a second, but I want to show you another little cutie. We did coffee and a card here yesterday. So every other Wednesday in my Rolling Meadows home studio, we do coffee and a card. This was our coffee and a card project. And so here's a note card size. This is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch, just a standard card, same kind of design. And then I offered a variation on that one. And if you look, it's the same layout, only turned portrait from landscape. So same materials, just a little different theme. I love this stamp set. So there's a couple of inspiration projects for lots of occasions. I love this stamp set. I'm really having fun with it. I'm sad to see it go. But doing the craft fairs, it'll come in handy, I think, for things like graduation gift card boxes. All right, so let's get the Big Shot in here, and we're going to emboss. So I want to set this up for embossing. So that means I need my platform, my cutting pad, which has scraps in it. Get that out of there. And a second cutting pad. And get this guy in there. Okay. I'm going to emboss one of the panels that we cut for the box. So you just want one of these little dudes. And we're going to put it into our embossing folder so that it debosses the lines, which means that we want our little Stampin' Up logo down. So we'll turn that away from us. And then we're going to put our box into the folder so that the tab, the lid here, and these little inside tabs are out of the folder. And we want to make sure that our lines are going perfectly straight across the box, and then we'll drop this guy in this way, see? So that it'll fit across the 6-inch platform. All right, let's crank that through and get some texture on this box. Now I only did one side of the box because with a stripe, it's so precise, you know, you'd want your stripes to line up all the way around the box, which means you'd have to be so precise about where you line up the stripes on each piece. So I just went ahead and debossed one side, and we're gonna leave the other side without any embossing. And that way we don't have to line up those little stripes so that they continue around the back of the box. Hey Sharon, I'm glad you could join us. All right, let me do a little bit more die cutting while we've got the big shot in here. I'll show you the project in just a second, Sharon. This is our basic black strip, or strip, I guess, and the congrats die. We're gonna drop that on from Sunshine Wishes? No, yeah, Sunshine Wishes. I'm having trouble with the word sunshine today. All right. Don't want to cut the top of my tee off. There we go. Now we're in business. Ooh, did you guys see that? I forgot to put my thin die adapter back in. Stand back. Professionals at work here. There. For die cutting, you got to put that thin die adapter back in. All right, now we're really die cutting. Snug up our sandwich. All right, there it is. And this will just pop right out of the die. It's really kind of a nice little greeting here. See how easy that came away? All right, let me get this out of the way and I'll bring in the project. So here's what we're making today, Sharon. We got our little congrats graduate gift card box, and then our little gift card holder card, and that fits right in the box. I love this box. This is the Lots to Love box Framelits that is retiring. So this is while supplies last, this box die. And then here's the half box that I like to make with the same die. Isn't that cute? It is, right? Okay, let me pull this back out so we can see what we're doing, and let's get this project put together. Okay, so I need a bone folder and some tear-in tape to assemble my box. And we need both the top and the bottom. All right, so we're going to just work these score lines here. I don't like these little tabs. You gotta be careful. I keep folding them crooked. All right. And then here you gotta be careful to grab the score and not that first debossed line. So you're gonna have to differentiate so that your box closes up right. Same thing to this side. Margie Lewis, hey girl, how are you? I am keeping busy. I bet you are too. All right. So I'm working my creases. I work them inside out, then right side in. Watch a few videos and you'll see that and you'll know why. I think it's important for the finish, especially on boxes, but on cards too. You don't want any cracks in your creases. All right, almost there. Then we're gonna get some tear-in tape on these long tabs that I'm burnishing right now. When you put your tear-in tape on the tabs, you want to put it on the front of your box, so this debossed side. You want to put it on the inside of the box, So when we fold up our box, we want these lines that are dented in, that are debossed on the outside. So this is the inside of our box. These are the tabs that need adhesive. And we're gonna put a full strip so that it holds this box nice and tight along the outer edge of the tab. And that means that the adhesive will be at the edge here, so you won't have any gapping where the box comes together. So that's why the outside edge here is important. Inside of the box, outside edge of the tab. Okay? Now the little box is gonna go together really easy. We're gonna peel off the release on both of these. And then we'll bring in the bottom of the box. And you'll want one of these tabs up and one down. And then you're going to line these up so that that tab with the adhesive, the edge of that tab with the adhesive goes all the way against the crease on the other tab. So this is what you're building. And then you can come in and do the same thing here. So you're gonna fold down the smooth side, the back of the box, and bring the edge of that tab against the fold at the top of the box. And then you just bring over that edge and burnish the adhesive. So now we've got a cute little box. How great is that? And I forgot to tell you that you're gonna want a 1/2 inch circle punch too for this project. And I had one sitting here, but I lost it. So 1/2 inch circle punch, and you turn over your box and then make a little thumb notch here on the back so that there's room to just open and close the box. See? All right, so we're gonna keep our box open for just a minute though, because we're gonna need to burnish the adhesive down on the embellishment that we're gonna put together here. So let's set this aside for a second and bring in the supplies we need to finish up the box first. So we've got our congrats, and we've got our little strip for graduate. Got some of those designer series papers, and one each of these 2 1/4 by 4 1/4 Whisper White and Basic Black. All right, I need some snail adhesive here. So the first thing I do is I take my Whisper White and just put a little bit of snail right in the center. And then I'm going to audition this on my box. So I want my Basic Black to be kind of tippy at an angle. And then we want the Whisper White to be at an opposite angle. And then when you get the angle that you like, then you just secure the center there. And got those 2 pieces together the way you like them. Then what we'll do is grab some Basic Black ink and our graduate word. And we're gonna stamp that on this little piece of Whisper White. Making sure my word is right side up. I almost stamped it upside down just now. I'm gonna stamp it on the end of that strip there. Whew, turned out good. And then we're gonna use some snail and start to kind of dry fit our pieces. Do you see I've got different angles on this one than on that one? That's all right, we're gonna wing it. We're having fun here. I don't want it to go quite that far. I want that one a little shorter, like that. So what I'll do is, since I like the placement of that, let me check how my congrats is gonna sit on there. I like the placement of that, so what I'll do is I'll lift, but still hold it in place, put a little snail, and then lift again and put some snail. So they're right where I dry fit them. going to bring in this one that's kind of the film strip paper, do the same thing, get it where we like it, add adhesive. And then our little congrats is going to go on here, kind of at an angle, and we're going to use multi-purpose liquid glue for that one. I love this congrats. I don't use these words nearly enough. I like that it's wide enough to use with the liquid glue. It's not too fiddly or fussy, but it does have, it gives that nice die cut word element without being too fine. You know what I mean? It's a little bit bolder, so that makes it easier to use, makes it easier to glue, makes it easier to get out of the die. It's got that kind of calligraphy with the narrow and the wide. I love that die set. All right, we're going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back of Graduate and kind of tuck that in where we want it. And you see, this is why it didn't matter how long the strips were. You're just using your scraps because you lay all the strips in the way you want them, and then you'll turn over, just put your finger between the Whisper White and the Basic Black and trim off the excess along the line there of the Whisper White cardstock. And there you get a nice finished product. Now, I've got those little stars. I've buried them in my mess. Let's embellish with a couple of stars. And I like to kind of put them so they look like they're anchoring all those strips a little bit. And then we'll make like a visual triangle. So we've got the two, and so we'll put one out here to make a kind of triangular shape. And those go on with a little multi-purpose liquid glue. But then I like to use the bitty little stapler and staple through. I think it looks kind of cool, adds some texture. So that's your choice if you grab a mini stapler or if you just glue on the little stars. Can't decide today whether to stand up and stamp or sit down and stamp. So I've been standing up and sitting down and standing up and sitting down. Do you craft standing or sitting? Gina crafts sitting. I usually stand, but I also work at a like countertop type or height table. Marianne does both. Yep, that's what I'm doing today, Marianne. Up and down. It's like Jack in the Box today. All right, so I have my little tiny attacher, and I'm gonna go ahead and just staple through those. It just gives texture. I don't know if the camera's picking it up there. I think it's getting it. It's a little bit of I go off the edge a little bit. I don't know, just one of those things I do. Terry does both, sitting and standing. All right, let me grab some tear and tape here. I want this to go on the front of the box, and when I do projects that are, you know, three-dimensional and going to be handled, I like to grab my tear and tape or my fast fuse and use those a little bit stronger adhesives. So we're going to add a couple of strips of tear and tape on the back of here. Or you could run your fast fuse on there. You've got red tape. I used to use a lot of red line tape, but something strong. All right, now what we'll do here is we're going to center our embellishment on the box and then reach in with our fingers and burnish the adhesive with our thumbs. So my fingers are down in the box. Marianne says, nice touch. The staples? I think so. All right, so there's our box, all ready to go. Let's close up the bottom. You could put a little adhesive here if you wanted to, because that's just going to be sealed. Our box is made to open and close from the top where our little thumb notch is. Adhesive at the bottom is your choice. All right, so there's our boxes. We're killing it today. We got a great project. So darn cute. Love the card that goes with it. Like I always say, I can't stand it. Oh my goodness, you're after my own heart, Gina. I always say that too. I can't stand it. All right, we're gonna make our card for the inside next. So I gotta grab my Simply Scored, and I put that aside a little bit because it's really messy over here. So Hang on, I'm gonna grab Simply Scored and pull that into the picture. Make some room for it. All right, I think we're good here. Should be enough room. On the other side of the room, I have some tables that are countertop height, and that's where I usually work. So my Simply Scored was over there. Okay, so this is the inside of our box. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And you want the 5 1/2 side in your Simply Scored. And then we're gonna score at 2 3/4. Now, let me get this out of the way, and we're gonna bring in the Big Shot because we're gonna add those little thumb notches to the inside of the card. Now, if you were gonna use this to give a check or cash, which I think you could do, a check or cash is 6 inches, so you'd make your, you'd probably have to fold your gift, but it definitely would work. It's a good way to dress up a cash or a check gift. Let's see here, I got my Big Shot, and it's set up for die cutting still. And we're gonna get that gift card that I had made before with the little tabs on it. Sharon says, love it. Oh, thank you, Sharon. All right, so here's our card. And if you're watching and you noticed, I only worked the score one way, and that's on purpose because now I'm going to add the thumb notches. If I can figure out what I did with my little gift card, dude. I seriously buried it. Haha. All right, so my little thumb notches are glued on to a gift card. I just took a kind of flimsy one that I found. It's a grocery store card, just a blank one, and I glued the tabs on so that the cut line just hangs off of the card. So if you look at it from this side, you can kind of see that there's just a little edge of the die hanging off the card. And what that allows me to do is make perfect placement. Now, this is a tight fit through your machine. It's gonna feel squeezy, but I used a really kind of thin, flimsy gift card and it worked. You could probably make yourself a cardstock template out of a gift card size piece of cardstock, but this one's working for me and I've used it a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and put, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to grab a little piece of washi tape because this guy wants to slide and I'm not in the mood for it. So we're gonna put the gift card centered in the bottom half of the card below the score line here. It's right to left centered, and then from the score line to the bottom centered. I'm just gonna add a touch of washi tape there. I'm tired of putting the lid on and then the gift card rolls away. So then we'll put this little guy through the machine. And where that gift card goes through, you're gonna get some scarring, some bruising from the bottom cutting pad. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So there, it's gone through. Cut our 2 notches, but if you can see here, you know how when you run things through the Big Shot and you've got the cutting pads that are scarred, and then the scars bruise the cardstock? That's what happened there. So what I like to do at this point is take away my gift card, because on that side it's all perfectly smooth, and then I like to flip my card inside out so that all the bruising is inside, and when you put your gift card in there, it's gonna cover that bruising. So then we'll work this score the other way, and that's our card base. Fits perfect in that gift card box. Here's our sample, and now it's just decorating it. Let's do a little stamping. I love stamping. Basic black ink pad, wandered away. Now, another bit of stamping trivia, kitchen table stamper stamping trivia. When I'm cutting out an image, like I fussy cut something, I leave just a hair of cardstock around the edges. When I'm paper piecing something, I like to cut directly on the stamped line. So for the light bulb, I'm stamping one on Whisper White and one on the crushed curry because of the way that I cut, and because I want the threads of my light bulb to be black and white and black and white instead of the crushed curry. So what we'll do is we'll let those dry for just a second. Let me get some scissors and trim this away. What I'm gonna do is cut out my Whisper White light bulb. I'm gonna fussy cut it, but I'm not gonna cut right on the line. I'm gonna leave just a hair, do you see that, of white around the image, and I think that gives you a nice clean finish. It keeps the integrity of the image. It's all intact. If you don't cut on the line, the whole line is still there, and it keeps the integrity of the image. So for the white one, we'll fussy cut it just a hair bigger than the image. But then we're gonna paper piece that crushed curry image into the light bulb so we get that solid opaque yellow glow. All right, there's our Whisper White. Now for the crushed curry, because we're gonna lay it right in there, and you can see that tiny little white edge gives us a nice finish. We've got the threads, black and white and black and white. And we're gonna cut off the base of this light bulb. And we're gonna cut out the light bulb portion on the black line. So I almost cut the black line in half, and that way you get nice neat placement and a full solid line. So just little details, but the things that are important to me. All right, we're almost there. More straight. Who just joined us? Hi, Christine. Okay, so a little bit of snail or multi-purpose liquid glue here, and we're going to paper piece this solid crushed curry into our little light bulb. I love me some Watts of occasions. All right, I think I'm off my line a little bit. Sharon says, great idea. Thank you, Sharon. Been doing this a little while. Oh, thank you. I'm having a retirement party for Watts of occasions and for the Lots to Love box die set. I love this box. I'm gonna miss it so much. Where did I put my box? Here's the box that goes with the card. So we're doing the little box. Card goes inside, and it holds a gift card. Perfect for graduation season, Father's Day, Mother's Day. Still not too late for those. See how perfect that goes? All right, then let me show you. Here's a Father's Day sample and a Mother's Day sample. And here's half a box. All right, a couple of samples in there. Let's see now. A little bit of this is going to be repeat from what we did on the cover. So I'm going to kind of dry fit my basic black and my Whisper White. All the dimensions for this will be on the project sheet. And then I'm going to lift it, add a little adhesive right in the center because I want to be able to lift that Whisper White to cut the tails of our designer series paper. Now I can move this out. And one more bit of Stampin' here. I think You're Brilliant is going to go on this 3/4 of an inch strip. I got some adorables and some beautifuls. Thank you, ladies. All right. I think You're Brilliant. All right, got to move this over because this one's where I've got to hold my breath and catch this right in the narrow strip. Oh, and on camera and everything. I'm trying to act like a professional. I caught the edge. 2 sides to every paper. Oh, goodness. All right. We're going to do that again. Everybody hold your breath. Here we go. We're going to get it right in there and not catch the edge this time. It would help if I didn't have like 4 cups of coffee before I went Facebook Live. Much better. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Oh my goodness. All right, I think we're done stamping. Let's do a little assembly here. So, I like this little guy on the bottom this time. Nice job, says Terry. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so this one we're gonna go with the dots instead of the stripes. We're gonna add those little guys on. And we want them to be at kind of a fun angle. And then this one, we want this one shorter than the other. And I'm just winging it here. I'm putting it on with the adhesive. I didn't even dry fit, and I'm kind of a dry fitter. And then I think you're brilliant. Let's see here. We need that to go out. See, that's what happens when you don't dry fit. I got to move this out a little bit. Don't worry. Terry says, have a good day. Thank you, Terry. You do the same. We're almost done here. Have a good weekend. All right. So the Master of Deconstruction is going to move these out just a little bit more. There. Because we need some of this white for our light bulb. So we'll bring in this black little film strip one. I think your brilliant goes in there. Should fit my light bulb. Looks good. So we'll go ahead and see, we learned our lesson. We're going to dry fit stuff. And then add our adhesive. I want some more of this black one to show. I think that's all we're getting. All right, now a little more adhesive here. Live stamping, it's always an adventure. There. Now we will need some dimensionals for our light bulb. I think 2 will do. 1 low, 1 high. Now we need to trim the excess on our strips here. So again, finger between the 2 layers and then trim off the excess. What a cutie. And we'll embellish with some stars and get it on our gift card, and we're at the home stretch here. So for my little stars, I'll put a couple here and then 1 kind of off this way to make that triangle, and put them in place with the multi-purpose liquid. But then I'm going to staple them on again. You want to do that before you add this layer to your card, otherwise you'll have staples inside your card. What a cutie. Last little step here. Add some texture. Love it. And then we can snail. Because of those staples, I'm going to use a generous amount of adhesive. Let's make sure we put it on the right side so the little notches are down. And we'll add this dude right in the center of our card. And there we go, we did it. 2 projects, 1 video. Not too bad. Let's see here, where's my other box? We'll get that little guy in there. There they are. Okay, that's it, we did it. It's a gorgeous day here. Got any big weekend plans? Anybody gonna do something with the rest of their Friday afternoon? TGIF today. Oh, I see hearts, thank you. Make sure you get your Watts of Occasions, your mini treat bags, and your Lots to Love framelits while supplies last. Okay? If you've got questions about the retirement list or about the project, email me, Marisa, at kitchentablestamper.com. TGIF, ladies. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.